Hey guys, today we are going to talk about the number one thing you can do to reduce risk while using steroids. No one does it, and it's so simple, and that's lowering your blood pressure. Before we get into it, please take the time to subscribe to my channel. It's the best way you can show your appreciation for all this awesome content I'm putting out. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. If you want to get in contact with me about coaching or a consultation call, my information is in the video description below. I am at Paul K. Barnett on Instagram. You can also email me at bigp3rd@gmail.com. If you have questions or comments, you can put them in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer each and every one of them. All right, so controlling blood pressure, or, there's multiple pathways you can do it, is probably the simplest and easiest thing you can do to lower your risk while taking PEDs. Now, I'm not saying it's, removes all risk, but it will lower risk. It is analogous to wearing a helmet while riding a motorcycle or putting a seatbelt on while driving a car. You're not eliminating all risk by doing that, but you are significantly lowering it. It's a safety precaution. You're engaging in a dangerous activity, and you're taking a safety precaution to limit the risk that you are taking by engaging in such activity. So I don't think people realize all the possible deleterious health outcomes that can come from constantly elevated high blood pressure. Heart attacks. How many bodybuilders have we seen die of heart attacks recently? A lot. Strokes, aneurysms, weakened blood vessels, diseases of the blood vessels. I mean, Boston Lloyd just had an aortic dissection. His aorta exploded, probably from a weakened blood vessel, likely from chronically elevated high blood pressure. If I recall correctly, the dude talked about how his blood pressure was chronically elevated on podcasts I've seen him on. Kidney disease. As a lot of older bodybuilders end up in kidney failure. And the kidney failure is most often caused by high blood pressure, at least exacerbated by it. Dementia, metabolic syndrome, arteriosclerosis, atherosclerosis, sorry. I botched that one. But regardless, so lowering your blood pressure is probably the simplest and easiest thing to do. It just blows me away when I talk to dudes about taking some blood pressure medication, and they get like all freaked out about taking blood pressure medication, but yet they'll fucking load up on Tren. Makes no fucking sense to me. All right, so bro, give me that Tren, give me that DHB, give me that mint, but I can't take a blood pressure pill. I mean, there's essentially, there's some of the most well-studied, most widely used medications on the planet, and really most men should probably be on some sort of anti-hypertensive medication. So channels that you can use to lower blood pressure in bodybuilding, an ARB or an ACE inhibitor is probably the most effective for androgen-related hypertension. They help, block that pathway, the renin-angiotensin, aldosterone pathway, that androgens seem to aggravate and cause high blood pressure. Avoiding certain compounds that are known to be, horrible for blood pressure, or oral steroids, some of the harsher compounds like Tren or Anadrol, sticking with more of the milder compounds that don't have such a deleterious effect. Your diet, not eating like an asshole, being clean, don't be the dirty bulk guy, and keeping your Cardio up through the off season. I know I've slacked on this in the past, but I've definitely seen it in myself when I keep my cardio up. My blood pressure stays lower. I was having starting contest prep, and I noticed my blood pressure was a little high at the beginning of the contest prep, and just a couple weeks of doing cardio, it's come back down with adding gear back in. So there is that. But anyway, just be careful. Make sure you're monitoring it. That's the first step. Most guys don't even fucking check it. Get yourself a little wrist cuff. Make sure you're checking your blood pressure. I check it daily. I get this thing. I have a little wrist cuff. I got it from Amazon, I think for 20 or 25 bucks. They're super cheap. They're not as accurate as the arm cuffs, although some of the arm cuffs are, if you got giant arms, if you got 19, 20-inch arms, it can throw it off. But anyway, start checking it, keep tabs on it, be proactive. I'll do another video up about some ARBs at some point, but an ARB probably would be a wise decision, something to add just to your protocol. You should be taking an ARB. Do your cardio. Don't eat like a dick, and just keep track of things. Don't be hammering Anadrol and Tren year round. Things like that, and you can really extend your life and lower the risk of taking PEDs. Like I said, it's the equivalent of wearing a helmet while riding a motorcycle. Still a risky activity, but you're lowering the chances of a negative outcome. Take care, guys.